My name is Jacob, and I'm here with my fellow classmates, Maya, Connor, and Mariah. And today we're going to talk to you about um, practicing good mental health, and where to find help if needed. This is part 4 of our 4-part session on informing middle school students about mental health. So let's kind of first review what we've gone over so far. So far, we've gone over the definition of mental health in our first session, what that is and what it looks like. In session 2, we talked about the stigmas behind mental health, the good and the bad. And then in session 3, we talked about the negative effects it has on the brain and everyday life. So in that session, it was focused on how mental health affects you and your day-to-day activities. And then next, we're going to start going into how do you practice good mental health.
How do you practice good mental health? Positive activities are things that people intentionally do to successfully raise their happiness levels. Can anyone think of what some positive activities are? For example, this could be writing letters of gratitude, being kind to others, and practicing optimism. Personally, for me, being outside in the sun is what makes me happy. So when it is nice outside, I make sure to get out, either to our back patio or actually go for a walk. Some other ways of practicing mental health would be to value yourself. So this means to treat yourself with kindness and respect and avoid self-criticism, because you can be your own worst enemy. Surround yourself with good people that you can trust and that support you. People with strong family connections or social connections are generally happier than those who lack support. So if you do not have a group, go seek out a good group of people. Set realistic goals for yourself. Decide what you want to achieve academically, personally, or professionally. Write down the steps you need to realize these goals. Aim high, but be realistic and do not overschedule yourself, because that will cause stress. Learning what coping habits are to help lower stress. So this could be exercising, taking a nature walk, playing with your pet, journaling. These are all stress reducers. Also, remember to smile and find the humor in life, and don't take everything too seriously. And lastly, take a break, because you deserve one.
Thank you, Maya. You did a great job. So I'm going to talk to you guys about where to look for help when needed. So what are examples of people in your life that you could always talk to about anything?
Mom.
Yeah, your mom, of course. That's a good one. Any other examples?
Friends.
Your friends? Yeah. And you in the back?
Aunt Kelly.
Aunt Kelly. Yes. Aunt Kelly is always someone you can talk to about anything. Those are all great examples, and they're also examples of people that you can trust. So you can always go to your family, friends, coaches, law enforcement, maybe people from your church, or anyone in your community that you have a good relationship with and that wants the best out of your life. These are all people that you can go to talk to about your mental health. Another group of people are your teachers and your counselors. They're always going to be here for you, and you'll see them every day you go to school. And like we talked about in other sessions, don't get caught up in the stigma of going to counselors, and don't let that stop you from getting the help that you need. So finally, you can be the friend for someone else. So ask your friends and be vulnerable about how you're truly feeling, and ask them to participate in some of those positive activities Maya talked about. Yeah, I'm sure you had a list going through your head, like crocheting some new sweaters or playing some basketball. One of those two things works. And finally, you can always seek the help from an adult for your friend that's having a mental health issue.
Wow, do I have the best group members. You guys did such an amazing job explaining what people should do to practice good mental health. Jacob he reviewed over what the definition was and everything, and then we went into talking about good mental health. So you guys answered, class, what were some of the things that you could do to practice good mental health. And I liked a lot of the points that Maya hit. Hang out with the right people. I know you middle schoolers, I know you get in some crowds where they're just always negative, and you don't want to be around that, because that's just gonna weigh heavy on your brain all the time, and just it's gonna hurt you in the long run. So pick your friends wisely. What else did we talk about, guys? I just loved all the examples that were given, going outside, which is what I want to go do right now instead of being in the classroom. And just having a plan of kind of when you feel yourself getting in a funk of what to go do to get out of that. So whether you like to work out, which I don't, do that. Go read a book. That's what I like to do. And it takes me to like a whole nother world. And that's how I like to cope with everything in the world. And then Connor talked about who you could talk to, which I'm sure your teacher here would love to talk to you about anything that you're struggling with. You have your parents. If you don't trust your parents, I know some people don't. You have people at church. If you don't attend church, you have a counselor here. I went to the counselor in my middle school, and she was one of my favorite people in the whole world. They can't tell anybody what you guys talk about unless you're going to harm yourself. If you're going to harm yourself, tell somebody. Don't just hold it all in, because I know what it feels like to hold everything in, and it sucks, because it's going to come out sooner or later, and it would be good to get help now rather than later. So I hope you guys enjoyed our final session with y'all. We are so sad that we don't get to come hang out with you anymore. Yeah, group members, great job. Round of applause for them. And thanks for listening to us for the last 4 weeks of learning about mental health. You guys are awesome, all you kids out there. Group members, awesome. Have a great day.